What's going on, everyone? Welcome in. Wow, throat. Sorry, it's just a little crackling there. I'm reaching that point in my life. Welcome. Might as well start with a laugh right now. I don't know what that was, seriously. But welcome in. Thanks for popping in. It is prime time with Disney World Freak. I've been dying to say that. Prime time with Disney World Freak. It's not Tuesday. It's not 4 o'clock. It is the evening. It's 8:04 already. Yeah, thanks for being here. We're going to get into a few topics tonight. And this gentleman right here is nice enough, kind enough to join myself tonight. Might be some other friends for a healthy, right? We can say this, a healthy conversation, a healthy debate. And, go ahead. Sorry.
I think it's a conversation that people shouldn't be afraid to have, no matter what, whether you're an influencer or whether you're just a regular Disney person. No matter what side of the coin you're on with this, it should be a conversation that should be had, if for nothing else, to educate people. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. I mean, there's, I consider myself a big Disney fan, goes all the times, and I'm still educated every day about Disney. So, I think it's a good conversation to have.
Yeah, there might be some things that Walt and I will agree on tonight, and like I said, another friend or two if they pop on. The plan was to have some folks from the UK on, but of course it's 1 a.m. there, so it was kind of hard to get somebody on. But I want to just dig in real quick to how this all came about. Recently, Disney has made some announcements in the last couple of days. What was it? Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, it was Tuesday because it was the day I streamed it. It always comes out on Tuesday, and I hate that because, you set a thumbnail, you want to stick to it, and all of a sudden, all this news comes out. But how this came about was, again, the announcements on Tuesday from Disney. Whatever it was, be it the prices and increase, the ticket increase, all that good stuff. And we're going to dig into that. But, I'm on Twitter, and I got onto Twitter, and there was such a big outcry, a large outcry from a lot of people. This Twitter was insane, okay? So I started answering people, but there was this British channel. I'm not going to mention their name, but they put something out, and it triggered something. I wanted to come home and put out a video, but again, not a rant. And I put this in the thumbnail. I'm not going to rant because I really don't have anything to rant about, to be honest with you. It's really not. But it triggered something where it's like, people, calm down. Enough's enough. We can have a conversation about it, but again, social media was insane. It really was, and that's what triggered this. And I'm going to just read real quick. You know what? Before I read what I want to read, because I want to go through my tweets. I tweeted two things out, and Walt saw my tweets, and it got Walt in your live stream to say that you wanted to comment on it and debate about it, that you didn't, I want to use the word like, you didn't like my tweet or something. There was something about it you didn't like. Am I correct?
I wouldn't even say that. I mean, I have a different view of it. It's not that I didn't. I mean, your view is your view. I mean, that's
right.
I respect that. I mean, I don't like to say I didn't like the tweet. I just had a different take on the tweet from what you were, a different perspective. Happy birthday, Suzanne, by the way.
Yeah, I want to get into the chat before. I don't want to be rude to anybody because I thank anybody that comes in tonight. I know it's a different time and people are out tonight and other streamers are on from the parks. But you know what I say? The parks will always be there. Come watch this for a little bit. Come join the conversation over here. But Gene is here. Walt, of course, Mouse Talk, Zippity Doo Dog, Glenn Castro. What's up, Glenn? Get your popcorn ready. Pull up a chair. There you go. Yes, get your popcorn. Grab a coffee. I'm drinking coffee because it's been a long work week. And unfortunately, I actually have to work tomorrow, believe it or not. But not as early as I normally do. So it's not a big deal. Melena Gross, welcome in. I'm sorry if I'm botching that name. Ashley Loves Disney, welcome in. Dean the Turkey Lexter, what's going on, buddy? In the chat. I love my computer. I see the Mickey Bunch. I see Cynthia. I see my computer freezing on me. There we go. And Kandani Sean, welcome in. Jeffrey, Jamestown Baseball. Hey, Jeff, what's going on? Welcome in. The other Jeffrey's at Abby's football game, so we know he won't be watching. He didn't even know I was live. According to him, I didn't know we were live. I don't know if Jeff subscribed to me. I really don't. Partner channel or not, I don't know if he subscribed to me. He guesses when I'm on. Kelly, Mickey Bunch, long time no see. Kay will be. Yes, Suzanne is here. It is Suzanne's birthday. We went out to dinner again. I know we celebrated last week, but this week we took the kids out. The kids wanted to go out to dinner. All I see is names now on my chat. I don't even see what they're writing. So computer is really going to drive me nuts tonight. Julie McCollum, welcome in. So we're going to move to the finger with the phone. So yes, it is Suzanne's birthday tonight, but yeah, I think I caught up. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Just post something else, and I promise I'll try to read it because my computer lets me. But let me read real quick how this all came about. Again, it was on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, maybe it's a good thing you're not on Twitter. Don't go on Twitter. It's just it can be a crazy place to be. Let's put it that way. So again, Ellen, well, I almost said their name. British channel put something out on Twitter, and I answered to it, and then it brought me to this tweet that I wrote, and I'm gonna read this real quick. People who say that Disney magic, and I put quotes, Disney magic is gone, sounds so pathetic. Pathetic, big word. Apologize if I offend anybody. But me, I just pick words and I go out there. That's just me. So, pathetic. Magic on a Disney World vacation is what you, myself, make of it. The memories, the fun, the friends, not a free mug, not cheaper water or soda, whatever you're drinking, not food cost. You and only you is what makes the magic. That was my first tweet. And then I came back with, and which is true in this, it's all right to be angry. It's all right to express your feelings about changes, be them good or bad at Disney parks. But it's also okay to be a realist and not just type crap to say, hey, I wrote something on Twitter. Because there's a lot of that out there. And you guys know that. Social media can be crazy. But that was my tweet because, again, the outcry of Disney's announcements of price increase. Oh, look, the chat is back. Thank God when I switch back. But the price increase and everything else. My biggest thing, Walt, on all of that was the magic. Because so many people were tweeting, Disney magic is gone. It's not what it was. A lot of people were tweeting, vacations will never happen again to Disney Worlds. It's too expensive to go to Disney. We'll never go back. It's cheaper to go to a different park and do something else. Other people tweeted there's more to this country than just Disney, which is true.
Well, so far, everything you've said is true.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, some people may not go back. It can be too expensive for some people. Some people may not be happy with it. Let me just say this. Disney magic is a very subjective phrase. What is Disney magic to you may not be Disney magic to me. So that's where I kind of have my different perspective, Carlos, because when someone says the Disney magic is gone, it may very well be gone for them. So that's why I can't hold that against them for saying that, because to them, it may legitimately be gone. And they have their reasons for why they say that. It may be a price thing for them. It may be different reasons why that magic to them is gone. I tell you right now, for me, part of the Disney magic is gone. I still have a good vacation. I agree with you there. Your vacation is what you make of it. But that doesn't mean some of the magic's not gone. No more Citizens of Hollywood. No more Magical Express. Having to pay, Fast Pass is now gone. Those different little things that made Disney are being taken away. And that is part of the magic to a lot of people. That's what they grew up with. That's the nostalgia factor. And I know you love nostalgia.
Okay.
It's part of that to me. And I get what people are saying, but I agree with you. You make your vacation what you make of it. Okay. You can still have a great vacation. Look, every time we go into the parks, we have a great time. But I do feel I agree with some of those people that say some of at least some of it to me is gone. I have different references for that.
when I read people write the magic is gone, it's always followed by finances, something financial. It's always brought up. And again, and we were talking, Walt and I were talking off stream. Walt doesn't go on Twitter as much, I guess, as much as I do, but
Very little. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see it as much on Facebook as you do, or it's definitely you don't see it on Instagram as you do on Twitter. Twitter is that platform. Every time you see a comment of the magic is gone, it's always after a financial change inside of Disney World. And this is when, and this is what triggered me to be like, I'm sorry, people. It's not about a free mug, like I said. You know, they took away the free dining. They took away the dining packages. They're making you pay for everything. And during that, you'd get your free mug. Now they charge another 50 cents for soda or whatever for water. It's $3.75. It was $3.50, so another quarter. That's not the magic. I'm sorry. Every time it's the magic is gone. I could see if they went in and wrote what you just said, Walt. You know, this show is gone. That show is gone. That was part of the magic back then. Listen, I miss Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the playground at Hollywood Studios. That magic is gone. You're right. That was something nice for the kids. That was. I'm going to tell you what I think is magic, and then we can go from there. For me, the magic is not what they give you, okay? Because they're already giving you the park. The park is the magic. I drive through.
Hershey Park gives you a park. Busch Gardens gives you a park.
I get that.
Universal gives you a park.
What we're talking about right now, right, is Twitter platform. The people on this Twitter going insane about Disney. I get that. And we'll get on to, about other parks and everything. Adam Baum, welcome in. Monarch Moments, Garrett, what's going on, buddy?
I like what Adam said.
Is this the Bob Chang Susan Arnold Appreciation Club? Listen, I'm not knocking the guy right now. Tina McNeil, welcome in, Tina. I see everybody, not everybody. I see some people saying happy birthday to Suzanne. Thank you for that. Well, she could thank you guys too. But again, magic. Like I said, they're already giving you the park. So for me, magic starts when we drive under that main gate, right? Seeing Suzanne at I almost gave her age away, at 4 plus a number. Oh crap! She's only 42, so there's not to complain about. Shedding a tear still when we walk into Magic Kingdom. Okay, that's magical. Me, 45, crying like a baby, and I'll admit it right now. Go back, rewind it if you want. Get it for Pete McDevitt. Crying like a baby our last day there because the trip was magical. That's the magic. It's seeing my son looking around still and having a smile on his face. The pictures we take, the memories of certain rides,
sure.
of joy, sharing a meal with you on my solo trip and your wife and all our other friends. And that's the magic. The magic is what Suzanne, the kids, we make of it. I
agree.
I'm trying to find the right words. Not it's not a necessity, but not the free stuff that Disney gives you. Not even fast passes.
Right. Well, let me say this though. But look, I agree with you. I think that's part of the magic. But what makes Disney so special are all those things that they did. I'll just give you a couple examples. Magical Express, for us, when we flew down, we always took Magical Express. That was our first, the old saying, you need a good first impression. You can't get a second chance at a good first impression. Well, that's your first impression of Disney is Magical Express. You don't even have to worry about picking up your luggage. It's at the door. Those little perks make Disney. Nobody else did that. Nobody else does that. Disney did that. That was part of the magic. Going into these parks and seeing that, Fast Pass was there. And it's all incorporated into the cost. Disney doesn't try to hide costs anymore. Nope. Magical Express wasn't free. Fast passes weren't free, but they weren't blatantly in your face. Oh, we're charging you for this now. They made it seemed like parking wasn't free, but now they're purposely throwing it in your face. Here's parking on top of it now. The nickel and diming, they're not as discreet or subtle with their changes in that respect. And then not only that, some of the real magic is taken away. No more Citizens of Hollywood. No more Main Street Citizens anymore. Some of the shows aren't as good as they used to be. They're taking away some of that. The quality of the merchandise isn't as good. It's kind of bland. It's these things that, living down here, we go into the parks and we're there and we're like, some of the Halloween stuff was the same stuff they sold last year.
Yep, especially the popcorn bucket. That's why I didn't want one.
I mean, this is a multi-billion-dollar company that can't come up with a new popcorn bucket for you every year. These are the types of little things that I think people, over time, you're right. It's one straw isn't going to break the camel's back, but it's the billion before it. That last one is the one that breaks it. So I'm with you. I agree. You're going to make the magic for the most part, but there are things that Disney has done to take away and make that magical trip a little bit harder to enjoy. That's all.
Do you really believe that what you just said there, that it makes it harder to enjoy? We got to remember again, and first let me welcome in some new faces. Blooming Cheese, Richard, welcome in. Tina says, yeah, but they'd be with you at Universal and SeaWorld too. And we'll get into other parks. And I know what you mean by that, Tina. Monarch moments when it is too much for an individual Disney park ticket, where people say no more, 400, 500 and more. We're getting into prices too with that package return for your resort. Yes, package return to your resort in the front of the park. I think the front of the park is still there. Maybe not. I think I might be wrong. Kelly says, our first trip to Walt Disney World as a family. Come on, chat. Really? You just did that to me? I can't believe you just did that to me. I'm sorry.
Our first trip, I got
family,
you got it.
Magic Express was really nice. Yeah, it's funny. It all just disappeared. This computer decides to do different things when it wants to. Debbie Birdfeld, welcome in. Nico DeGrico, welcome in. Nothing is ever free. You're right, Nico. That's right. Nothing. We used to say that all the time. There was another new name I just saw. Ali Bunk Warrior Princess. That's a long name. CEOs have changed. It's a different mentality. Very true. And Mickey Nickels and Dimes, if you throw them at him during the parade, he'll dance in them and flash dance. All right, Adam. We got Adam tonight for the good laughs tonight. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. And I'm sorry if I'm missing some of your chat, but the computer's active. Cynthia says, okay, now that the pack back to, oh my God. Okay, now the pack back the resort, you all just got me going now, flipping, missed that. Yeah, me too. I hate carrying my packages. There is a lot there, but what Walt just said, missing a few things. How is the park still not magical? It's still Disney World.
It's the wording behind that. But Disney magic isn't just the park. It's all that encompasses the park. It's the citizens of Main Street. I know I'm going to get flack for this, and Kelly's a cast member. Cast members. I've walked out of that park and literally, you know how when you leave the park, you have the people waiting there that are supposed to say, bye, have a good day. They literally are talking to each other. They don't even acknowledge me. That never used to happen. Cast members, like the custodial, used to be invisible at the parks. Now we've got to get out of the way or they're going to run us over sometimes. There's still great cast members, guys. This is not a blanket thing. I'm not painting a broad brush here of every cast member. But it used to be, there are different things that if you really, really pay attention, it's a different look. I'm sorry. It is.
It is a different look. But again, Walt, it's a different look from what it was. When was your first trip?
98.
98. All right. Ours was 2000, and I know Suzanne's right in the other room. 2003, I believe it was. I'm trying to remember 01, 02, 01, whatever it was. 01. Yeah, 01. Okay, 2001 was our first trip. A lot has changed from then.
Sure.
Even when we went in 2001, we heard of changes from the past. Things around the park change.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right to hate change. I hate change. We all know me and Splash Mountain. Okay? I don't like changes either. But we know change happens through the years, through life. Look at us. I never looked this handsome before. Now it's, eventually it's going to go away again. So Uh, things change in the park, but to say that it's lost its magic because of a couple of shows or a couple of hellos. I agree with you there, Walter. It's been a while since we leave the park. You live down there. You're in there 5, 6 times a week, 4 times, whatever it is. We're down there 10 times a year. Okay, so I don't remember if the last time they were saying bye. T-Town Mariella, welcome in. Change is good if it's an improvement. True. So Splash Mountain is not good then. Let's all agree on that one. I don't remember if they were saying bye to us, but I've seen it on streams where you have left or Jeff has left, and the cast members just don't care. Another thing that I bring up about magic. What's magic? Again, this is all for me. Magical
Right.
for me is a cast member just saying hello.
I agree.
Acknowledging you.
But that's what they're paid to do. They're supposed to. They're paid to say hello. That's part of what they're paid to do.
But we're still getting that. Well, was.
Well, they're not all the time. I mean,
I
don't know. I hold Disney with the amount of money that they want from me. You darn right. I'm holding you up here. You've got to have a level of expectation that they better meet and sometimes exceed for the amount of money they want from me. Pony up on your end as well, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm not going to shortchange them just because it's Disney and we want the magic. You gotta put up if you want me to put out the money.
Adam says with greater prices come higher expectations.
Exactly.
They're raising prices and providing less entertainment and quality service. Quality service, I don't agree with. The less entertainment. I mean, listen. When COVID happened, everybody started getting fired. Bob was the one that comes to mind first. He put out a big thing just like that. After so many years, my job is over here, and he brought them back. They brought some things back. They have not brought everything back. The band is not back. I can't remember the name of the band right now, but at the Grand Floridian, we wish the band came back. That was magical. It was fun. It was fun to sit there and watch and listen to that. But yes, the higher prices. All right, they did give us Rise. They did give us Galaxy's Edge. I know I'm going back a few years, but Galaxy's Edge, Rise, Railway, even though it's not my favorite, but Guardians. Everybody seems to love Guardians. They're still providing what a new Disney fan is going to Disney for.
Well, exactly, but that's who they're catering to. They're also catering to the new Disney fan. They're not catering to you. They're not catering to me.
No,
they're not catering to the people that have been there 1,000 times. They're going after the new people who don't know any better.
I agree.
They don't remember Fast Pass. They don't know this. They don't know that. They don't remember the dining plan. They don't know any better. Oh, $22 to pay for Disney Plus? Okay. I don't know any better. That's how I see it. I just give you an example. The All-Star Sports, and I only went back to 2019 before the blip. 2019, All-Star Sports, the lowest price was $99. Now the lowest is $123. Parties used to be $99. Now the lowest is $149. In 3 years, it went up $50. I mean, these types of things play into a lot of it, and then you add on top. Now you got to pay for parking. You got to pay for Genie Plus. You got to. These nickel and dime things worry me because I agree with folks. I love Disney, and I keep going back because I want to continue to love it. I don't want to not love it. I want to love it, but it's like that friend of yours that just keeps making the same mistake, and you love that friend. You want to keep that friend, but at one point he's going to make that mistake, and you're going to be like, you know what, brother, you're on your own.
Yep.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, come on, you computer. Don't tick me off. Tina's saying family friendly. No, I'm about to swear at my computer because we all know my computer acts stupid, but this is ridiculous tonight. There's nobody else home. Roscoe Mothership, welcome in. Roscoe, nice. Amory, nice to see you here.
Yeah.
Thank you. but they're going to run it the first time. They are going to run out of first times. See, I don't believe that, Tina. I really don't. There's
billions of people in this world.
there's billions of peoples in this world, and I want to, we'll turn around and go into this. Diana, welcome in. So true. Walt Disney is targeting the one-time visitors. What I've also heard is I'm sick of hearing is Disney is for the rich now, not for the normal person.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, again, go to Twitter. That's
Oh,
all
right.
you read. It's for the rich. I'm sorry. I'm not rich. Far from it. We live paycheck to paycheck, and we find a way to go to Disney.
Right.
Recently, it's been every year. Knock on wood, it's been okay. It's been every year, but every 2 years, let's say, we find a way to go. I don't believe they are targeting the rich.
But they are pricing people out. I tell you, if I made what I used to make, I wouldn't be able to go to Disney. And if we still lived in Maryland right now, if I wasn't a local anymore, I don't know that we could go anymore. I don't. We certainly wouldn't be able to go often. It might be like once every 5 years. It's getting there for people. And I understand it as someone who grew up in the inner city who had no money at all. I understand it. And it is becoming harder and harder for folks. I mean, I understand that. And I wish that it wasn't. I mean, we used to have to, our first trip was 98. You know when the next time we went back? 2007. Almost 10 years. Not because I didn't want to, just couldn't afford it. And that was back then. So
yeah, we were a few years apart, but it had nothing to do with money. It was just we weren't in love with Disney like we are now.
right.
So I can't even go back to back then. But Horizons 18, welcome in. Some people say Universal is a better deal. I've heard that a lot too.
Depends on what you're looking for.
What you're looking for, and now we're talking financial, because I haven't been to Universal in 16 years because I can't afford a park ticket at Universal. Well, let me rephrase that. I can't afford to go to Universal and go to Disney at the same time. Now, is Universal financially a better place to go? What I've seen for ticket prices for a 3-day ticket compared to a Disney 7-day ticket, I don't think Universal's cheaper at all.
Yeah, but you're comparing a 3-day to a 7-day. If you compare a 7 to a 7, because what's going to happen is Universal does it just like Disney. The more days you go, the lesser the overall price is. So I don't know that that's the comparison you want to make. Look at the 3-day to the 3-day. I mean, they too, just like Disney, your per day park price goes down the more days you buy. Universal does that too. And Disney has a distinct advantage because they have 4 parks compared to 2. I'm sorry, Volcano Bay is not a park. It's a water park.
Listen, Disney Springs to me I rank Disney Springs over Animal Kingdom as a park. So you want to talk about Volcano Bay, though, we'll add Disney Springs. Horizons 18, welcome in. Diana says, agree, Kevin. Kevin Kelleher, welcome in, buddy. They need to focus on a 5th park and stop adding resorts. Well, they need to add resorts because there are still so many people coming that they need the space.
But his point is a valid point. They keep making room for people, but there's nowhere to put them. There's no park to put them in. These parks are already at capacity. You've got all these hotels that are being built. Where are you going to put all these people? You've got 4 parks and you keep building. You're right. They're making capacity for more people to come. They need to give us more places to go then.
Oh, so I agree. Listen, I'd love to see a 5th park. Who wouldn't want to see a 5th park? 5th park. Happy Haunts, welcome in, Nicole. Nico de Greco, maybe they figure they are getting the money while they can because the economy looks like it's just going to get worse. I've also heard, again, I've also read this, that people need to stop going and paying these prices, and Disney will learn their lesson. I'm sorry, folks. Nowhere in no place, no park, no business, no movie cinema, nothing where you raise a ticket price, they say a year later, oh, this didn't work, let's lower it. Or 2 years later, this didn't work, let's lower it. I'm sorry. You don't pay what you're paying now, it doesn't matter. Next year, you're going to pay more. The year after, you're going to pay more again.
Well, it depends.
Disney for the parks.
They don't raise ticket prices. They never used to raise their prices every year. They never used to raise them every year. Ask Kelly. Kelly used to work for him. They would go 3 years before they would raise the ticket price. It's not. They're doing it every year now because the demand is there. And you're right. They know that I can raise it and people will come still.
People
They're
will
going to continue to come. But I think there's a valid point. If we hit a recession, there will be some scaling back, or they will give more discounts, or they will bring in more perks back. They will find ways to bring people in if we hit a recession and people aren't going to those parks.
Is that answering to the call of the crowd of lowering, making it cheaper? I'm sorry, like you said, and I've always said it when it was my favorite. We all know I'm the dining. I was about to say king. I'm not a dining king, but you all know I'm about the dining. I'm about the food. So we would try to go. We would pray for free dining. But come on, we're not stupid. We knew it wasn't really free. You know, you're paying for it in the long run through a rack rate, through the ticket prices, whatever it was.
Right.
So I'm asking do you honestly think, all right, if we do hit a recession or people stop going and the crowd levels are lower, that offering, let's say, free dining, let's say the dining package does come back, even though it was announced 2 years ago that it was coming back, or a year ago, and it still hasn't come back, that it will satisfy some of the crowd.
Perception, reality. Yes, it will satisfy the crowd. The perception is that they're getting something. Whether they are or not, Carlos, the perception is they are. So yes, it will appease them. Absolutely it will. Why do you think on the same day that they announced all these price increases, it's the same day they said, oh, by the way, Fantasmic's coming back in November. Yeah, they wanted to soften the blow. They know what they're doing.
They
know
do that all the time. They make an announcement
because they want to pretend like they're giving you something.
And the next day they try to make up for it.
Right. That's what perception and reality is. Again, I know that Magical Express isn't free. I know that Fast Pass wasn't free, that it was being incorporated into that price. But the perception was, oh, it's free. Perception, reality. I felt like I was getting something. I felt, even though I know I'm not, it's there. That's how it is. Now they're just, you're paying for everything. They don't even try to be subtle about it anymore. I don't know how to take that. I mean, I'll give you one other example. I am at the top tier of an annual pass holder. I pay the biggest one there is, so that I have no blackout dates.
Well, then I know we'll see you at Christmas time at least, because I know.
No, you won't. See it. No, that's a lie. Because guess what? If I can't get a reservation, I'm blacked out.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, like, you have to understand that, and then saying to me, by the way, you can't go over to Epcot till 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
You have to wait. What? These are the types of things that Disney has taken the blip, the snap, whatever you want to call it, and they have course corrected a lot of things, and they've taken that advantage. They've done that. That's what they've done. They've taken this chance as a course correct, and they've gotten rid of some things that they feel they don't need to have.
Ollie says that Walt's point is very valid regarding pricing, that they used to care if people could or couldn't come. That was Walt Disney's mentality. And somebody wrote earlier about and maybe it was Ali, that Murph, welcome in, Murph. What's going on, buddy? Thank God it stopped raining over where we are, huh, Murph? But this person had said earlier that, with the change of the chairmans, that, that's where this all went downhill. Even I'm not blaming Chapek. I'm really not. And I've come around. I haven't come around to liking the guy, because I really don't. But, oh my God, I'm going to sound like Walt right now. He's looking out for his shareholders. That's how he keeps his job. And I get that. Does it suck? Yes, it does. Because is he hurting people like myself, like Walt and others? Yes. But I'm tired of blaming him for. I blame him for the dumber things like the change of Splash Mountain, the getting rid of shows, not bringing certain cast members back. I will blame him in that stupidity. But when it comes to finances, you can't blame the chairman of the board, the CEO, of wanting to make as much money for his business as he can. That's like me yelling at my boss for raising prices on the stuff that we sell. How stupid are you? Why are you doing that? Well, he's looking out for his pocket. He's looking out for the business. Of course he's got to raise prices. And it brings me to this. With the inflation, everything goes up. So when it comes to the Disney food and the drinks and all of this and it going up, granted, and it helps that I somewhat in this business, or even better when I was running a little league, I used to do all the purchases. So I know a bottle of Coke is not costing Disney $3 and they're making 50 cents on it. Disney is paying for the same amount for that bottle of Coke that I was for the little league. Actually, even less. Because the more you buy, the less you pay. So is there a need to raise costs on food and drinks like they are, Walt?
No, there's not. Here's why. I think that in the old days, people would take hits on their profit. People would. I've worked in business my whole life. You have too. People would take hits on profitability sometimes when things go up. They don't do that anymore. The bottom line has to stay the same, and you, the consumer, has to pay the price every single time. That's my issue. Here's the thing. You're still going to make a profit. You're just not going to make as much of a profit for Disney. That's where I have issue. They're not losing money. They are making money hand over fist, and they still keep throwing it at us. This, that. $129, $4 for a soda, but you're having a great time. Next year it's $4.75, but you're still having a great time. Now it's $5.25, but you're still having a great time. Now it's $6.50, but you're still having a great time. Now it's $7.25, but you're still having a great time. It's the frequency of the increases that I have a problem with. You're absolutely right. Things go up. But when you do it twice a year, every year, they've had the highest profits ever in the history of the company. Ever in the history of the company. They are not hurting for money. Your boss raises prices when he has to because he needs to stay afloat. I don't think they have that problem.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
And the share. I love Disney, folks. It's not that at all. But I'm also trying to be as real as I can be. I'm not going to be a cheerleader for them. I have to call it like it is. Look, we all love our sports teams. When our sports teams suck and they do bad, we get pissed at them. Pardon my language, and we get mad, and we hate them for a day. But then they come back and win the next day, and we love them again. It's the same with Disney. They do something that makes us mad. We get upset, and then we get over it, and we love them again. It's no different. We do it all the time with everything. We love politics, whether it's politics or whether it's a TV show or whether it's this person or that person. You love them, then you hate them, then you love them again. It is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. Tina says Disney isn't like most companies. Isn't like most company shareholders are going to start losing money when people stop wanting to pay those prices and not getting what they believe they're paying for. Tina.
That's any company, though.
That's any company, but I don't ever think that'll happen with Disney. I don't. And it doesn't mean, I don't go back to what we said a few minutes ago of there's billions of people in this world. I just don't. You don't see that happening with Disney, with Universal, Six Flags. You just don't, Hershey. You don't see that happening. People will always want that entertainment. And as long as Disney is still providing the rides, the resorts, people will go. They keep building rides, people will want to go even more. Tron is going to turn people around and be like, all right, I got to go there and ride Tron. It's cheaper to go to Disney World than what it is to Tokyo to go ride Tron or Shanghai, wherever it is. People are going to come. Is the fifth gate ever going to be open? We can all wish and hope. I don't know. But if that happens, I feel like Field of Dreams. People will come. If you build it, people will come.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never going to stop. It just isn't.
Yeah, it's not.
You know, and everybody has their right to complain about something and have their feelings about it like I do, like Walt does. But I use the term, and Walt just said the word, and Suzanne hates when I use this term for myself. I am a realist. I'm not a wisher. I'm not a dreamer. I see things the way, again, what I think is real. This is, Disney's not going anywhere. People are going to pay no matter what. C. Corbett, welcome in. I went last year. I couldn't get on one new ride. Very disappointing. I'm not planning to go again because I was going there for the latest attraction. It's like hitting the lottery. Walt, you want to touch on that real quick? Because then we'll jump into Genie Plus real quick too. But
well, I think there's a point to that, C. Corbett. I don't like the fact that they do virtual queue. Everybody should have a chance to ride a ride. And you shouldn't have to pay for it. You shouldn't have to do it. If you're willing to stand in a line for 5 hours to get on a ride, then that is your God-given choice. But you should be given the choice. I think C. Corbett's got a good point there. I don't think you should have to do a lottery on whether or not you're going to do it. And then if you don't, now you got to pay $22 to ride. I don't think it should be that way.
25.
Okay, even more. But that's. I think their point is well. I think that's a valid point. If I've already paid to get into this park, I shouldn't have to pay anything more. I've already paid to get in. I should be able to ride that ride. And if it's a 5-hour wait, so be it. If I'm willing to wait, that's on me. But I should at least be able to have the opportunity.
Connie Rathman, welcome in. Hello, Carlos. Hello, Walt. Happy Friday. Yes, it is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Walt, who can honestly afford to stay at most of the moderate Disney hotels? $400 a night. The rich. Says Horizon's 18.
I understand that. I mean, it just depends on at Horizons. Anybody can do it. It depends on how often you want to go. If you were to say I'm going once every 5 years, you could save up, and you could probably afford it. Probably. I mean, I don't know your financial situation. You're right. $400 a night. That's a lot of money. But if I were to say to Melissa, okay, we're not going. This is 2022. We're going in 2027. But I want to stay at Port Orleans Riverside, which is a moderate. Okay. We got to save up. It just depends on what you want to do. You're right. I couldn't stay at the Grand Floridian at $900 a night or $1,200 a night. That's off the table. So your point is taken. I get what you're saying. It just depends on how much you want to save up to do it. And you're right. It's going to be difficult. I think you're right. And Tina's point, I think she said, that at some point there will be no more people to take their place. Tina, there's always people to take the next person's place. People keep having babies. People keep growing up, and new families happen every single day, and they're going to keep taking their families.
Perfect example of that. And Walt, what you just said is my son's going with us, my oldest, my 23-year-old. He's going with us. His girlfriend's going for her first time with us, and my granddaughter. We don't know if I call my daughter-in-law. If my daughter-in-law gets that, what I call the Disney bug, the Disney bite, like we did, she might start telling my son, "Hey, we're going every year." Right there's somebody that took somebody's place.
Right.
Michaela has said it already too. She's getting tired of going, but Ethan might want to keep going and bring his family. You're right, Walt. There will always be somebody to take.
There's always the next family. There's always the next generation. You'll never run out of people because there's always the next generation. Walter, we went Walter likes going. Walter's going to take his kids. His kids might take their kids. Their kids will take their kids, and so on, and so on, and so on. Just like the Vidal Sassoon commercials, and so on, and so on.
Yeah.
It's just
Will it be a lot more money? Yes, it's going to be. And again, it all comes down to Jonathan Chung, welcome in what you can afford to do. Again, like I said before, we live paycheck to paycheck. We're not rich. We don't have money to be thrown away. But I always say this too about myself, and you've heard this before on my streams, is I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't gamble like I used to. I laugh about that, but I don't gamble like I used to. Our fix is Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So we put that extra money, is towards Disney. And I told Walt off stream, listen, I pay my taxes just like Walt does, just like I'm hoping the rest of you do. And that's in this chat. Especially you, Cody, strive to do better. What's going on, buddy? Long time no see. But listen, we do our taxes. Taxes come. I'm not going to lie to you. Right away, it's like, well, God willing, there's no bills that came up or anything that needs to be done. But right away, it's like, hey, Disney money. That's where it's going.
Yeah.
You find a way to go if you want to go. Again, it might not be every year. It might be every 2. It might be every 3. We weren't going every year for a while. We were going every 3, if I'm correct. The first time we went in multiple, in straight years was 2009 and 2010. And then it was every 3 years or every 2 years before that, stuff like that. But again, you find a way. Murph, Epic Universe will be the big test for Walt Disney World. If it's great and explodes in success, Disney will have to answer or be a second fiddle. Totally agree on that, Murph. Totally agree on that. I hope that's when the 5th gate will be announced because Walt.
Well, I think they kind of already announced it.
This. What is it?
I think they already announced it.
Well, so do I. I'm glad. That's a whole different stream, but I'm glad you and I see that. And I know exactly.
I think they kind of did with all that blue sky thing, whatever the hell that
blue
was.
Blue sky. The woods behind Thunder Mountain.
Yeah,
There's no woods behind Thunder Mountain, people.
Yeah.
There's a big road back there.
I think they kind of. I think that's kind of the bone that they've thrown. It's not a very tasty bone right now. I almost threw it up, but yeah. Bloom and Cheese says, "Can anyone see a $600 to $900 a day ticket?" No, not at all. Look, the park opened in 1971. Here we are in 2022, and have we gone up? We haven't even gone up $200 in 50 years. We haven't even gone up. Have we gone up even $150 in 50 years? No, never. It'll never happen. It'll never raise that much. They don't go up that much.
Can we touch on this too? And it's park tickets, but let me just read this real quick. Pop Century was available for around $100 a night for a lot. Well, the time of the year is recent 2019. Now they are wanting $300. I saw that. That's why we rent DVC points now because we like Pop. I'm not paying $300 to stay at Pop when I can pay $250 to DVC for Old Key West. So, yeah. How you people afford DVC? No offense, Amanda. That's a whole different. See,
I can tell you.
Walt's a DVC member, so go ahead, Walt. How do you afford DVC?
I can't say on stream. It's my side business. No, I'm just kidding, folks. I'm just kidding.
Melissa,
Good Lord.
Melissa would kill him. That's why. Don't. She doesn't want no secrets. Oh, Suzanne just let out a big laugh for you. My dad, Suzanne's perfect example. Her father got bit real bad. Not the mother too. They're on their way down. They left this morning. Suzanne's birthday, didn't even wish her happy birthday. They got in the car and drove down. Okay. They just took off. They
happy birthday on the way.
Yeah. But it's true. Her father at 70, no, he retired at 65, and that's when you've all heard the story. We planned the trip without him knowing. That was it. Once you retire, we're taking you. And the man fell in love with it at 65 years old. So 20-year-olds are going to fall in love with it and start a new thing when 65-year-olds are doing it.
$300 a night though for that. That's a lot of money for a resort. I'll give you an example. I'm looking at it right now. Universal's Endless Summer Resort. They start at $96 a night. Aventura Hotel starts at $135 a night. The Cabana Bay, $119 a night. Endless Summer Dockside, $87 a night.
Yeah.
Not getting that kind of price at Disney. And guess what?
No.
You go down to the Hyatt and get a suite. That's a 2-bedroom suite for $300 a night. A nice suite.
I was going to bring this up too. Well, too. Let me backtrack for a second. What I was going to say, and I stopped to say hello to everybody else coming in and chat. And thank you all, Tina Marie. Welcome in again. I'm trying to get this chat to scroll down. So Suzanne, that's what I do. Rent points. This Diana. Yes, love rent points. We've done it the last 2 trips. I don't see me doing it any other way. I can't afford to buy DVC right now as much as I would love to. Maybe in the near future. Of course, it'll be secondhand because there's no way I'm paying what Disney's asking now. But that's another price that's jumped. What, 40%, Walt, in the last? Walt, you own Direct.
Yes.
You own Direct. So you remember what you paid when you bought it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's what? I want to say $40, $50 more a point, maybe 60. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Walt's like, yeah, if not more now. But
yeah.
Well, Corner Sports. I remember. I don't remember Corner Sports, but Corner Sports bought it when they first started, and look what it's done. But what I was going to say was, and I'm sorry, I'm missing a lot of chat. Well, that depends on how you slice what you may have gone. $150, but everything has gone up. Okay, yeah, you're only paying $120 for a day, but you're paying 10 times as much, says Tina. Amy, AGC Magic TV. Welcome, everybody. It's 40 wonderful people here. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
10 times as much over the course of 5 decades, though.
Yes.
I mean, it's not 10 times as much over the course of 5 years. We're talking 10 times as much over 5 decades. I mean, what was the price of milk in 1970, and what's the price of milk today?
What's the price of milk a year ago? I was paying two.
I mean, I get what Tina's saying. Don't get me wrong, Tina. I'm with you. I mean, prices have really gone up astronomically, but I think, I don't know. I mean, they are still a for-profit company, and I don't expect them not to make money, but they are making it hand over fist. And they're just, I don't know, Carlos, for me, it's just they're not subtle about it anymore. They're just like, well, you're paying for everything, and if you don't like it, don't come. That's how I see it.
Not Tina, I'm sorry. Kelly says Universal has awesome hotels. A lot of people are staying at Universal, spreading their parks between Disney and Universal. Somebody also said that they're staying at Universal and just going to Disney, which is true. I've seen it. Jeanette, welcome in. I wanted to get into park tickets because you just said about prices of park tickets. You got to remember, too, the more, and Walt, you brought this up, you're not really paying. Everybody's going crazy. Oh, I'm paying $140. Prices just went up $160 for a day at Magic Kingdom. That's if you go for one day. And how many people really go to Disney for one day? Not a lot.
I don't know. I have no idea. I can't say.
I just bought my tickets. They have gone up, yes. But, you buy an 8-day ticket, it comes down to about $60-something a night, a day. That's not expensive. Again, not everybody is going for 8 days. I get it. But once you get over 4 days, you're paying under $100 a day to go to these parks. Do you find that expensive?
It depends. It depends on how you're looking at it. $800 is $800. I mean, what if you don't have $800? You can't go for 8 days. What if, I get what you're saying. You're right. But that's the incentive. Either way, Disney is going to make their money. If they're going to get you for 8 days at 8 something, or me at 4 days at 8 something, it's still going to be 8 something. They don't care. It's still, that's why they do it. It's not really, it's an incentive for you, but they're still coming out with the same number in the end.
Yeah. Well, because again, they're looking out for themselves. Richard asks, since it keeps coming back to the money, which it always will, yes, especially on
of course,
this
it's anything.
Would you rather Disney to nickel and dime you, or would you want them to have an exclusive price that has everything wrapped in?
Exclusive price, everything wrapped in.
Yeah,
that's me.
Why wouldn't you?
That's what they used to do. That's what it used to be. Now they are
Right.
nickel. In the past, everything, it was just, this is what you paid, and that's it. And then you paid for your food and drink. But that's at any park. I don't care where you go. You go to Busch Garden, you got to pay for your food and drink.
Yep. Mark F, welcome in. And thanks. These new names I've never seen on my channel, and might not even remember seeing them on other ones. But thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. I hope you guys stick around.
Very
for other
reasonable, Mark.
streams.
Very reasonable. I agree with you 100%. But as someone who pays for the highest annual pass, I'm going to pay it. And don't tell me I have no blockouts when, if a reservation is not available, I technically have a blockout because I can't get in. And you're telling me I'm paying for the perk of not ever being blocked out of a park, but I really am. Now, if they get rid of park reservations, I'm on board with you. You're right. For me, what I pay in an annual pass, I go so much, the value's there. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. For any Florida resident, the annual pass is so worth it, and you get your money's worth.
If you go, you have to go though.
Yeah.
You know, we go 2 times. We go 2 to 3 times a week over the course of 52 weeks. What's that?
Yep.
I don't know. 156.
150 something times, yeah.
Yeah, 52 times 3 is 2 and 6. 156. So 156 days out of the year. Yeah,
that's not counting all the discounts you get between food and merchandise. So
right.
That's a whole different. But that's a whole different conversation with annual passes. Genie Plus, I know that's come up.
So I'm paying $6.41 a day.
A visit.
Because I think my annual pass was, I don't know, $1,000 for the year. Something like that. I don't know what it is. Something like that.
Well, new is $14.99.
Okay, maybe
it is. You could buy it new. Yeah.
No, I didn't have to buy it. I didn't have to buy it new because I could roll over. So I don't know what it was.
Right. And you get your discount for the rollover for the renew.
But even at that, at $14.99, if I went 156 times, I paid $9.60 a day to go to the park.
Right. Diane, I want to get into Genie Plus real quick because that's another big topic that was all over social media. Thankfully, and again, and I'm not knocking the Brits, but a lot of them were the Brits. And I know
let my dog out there right back.
Yeah. I know as Walt is letting his dog out. Oh, that was quick.
I just let the dog out of the room. He was whining.
Again, it was a lot of Brits, but and as we know, the difference in the dollar to the pound has been crazy too for them, so it makes a big difference. But a big conversation with them is always Genie Plus. Is it worth it? Do we pay it? It's gone up. Why would I pay for Genie Plus? Suzanne says $5 increase on ears, but we'll still pay for those ears, Suzanne. We'll use Walt's annual pass and we'll get those $5 back. Or Jeff's, somebody's. Jeff won't be in a park. He's blacked out. Genie Plus. I have never paid for Genie Plus. We've gone now 3 times with Genie Pluses around. What are you laughing at? What am I missing?
Karen, he said, you go so much, Walt. That's why the cast members don't say goodnight. You only pay $6 a visit. Fair enough.
But Genie, like I was saying, Genie Plus has gone up, and people are complaining about it. Don't pay it. Nobody. Disney has never, besides a park ticket, okay, Disney has never, ever said, you have to pay this. Nobody's telling you to pay it. I have never paid it, and I have had a great time on every trip. Walt, have you used Genie Plus yet since it started?
Yeah.
You have? Okay. Would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Right, you wouldn't want
No, I wouldn't. Would I pay for it again? Do I think it's worth it? No. It's all no.
Okay.
To me, I mean, it's very few. Again, but I live down here, so I can go whenever I want. But if I'm coming for my first trip and I really want to make sure I get on Guardians of the Galaxy and I didn't get a virtual queue, I'm probably going to pay it because I want to ride the ride. But that's what Disney is hoping you're going to do. That's what they want. They want the standby line to be 3 hours so that you say, I ain't waiting 3 hours. I'm paying for Genie Plus. That's what they want. They want the lines long. They want them long because then they know you're going to pay to get in quicker because nobody has patience and everybody wants to get in fast and they're going to pay for it. I used to do that. We'd stand in line and people would go buy in Genie Plus and I'd go, that's $15. That's $15. That's $15. That's $15. And I would let them hear me. I'm not being mean, but I would say, there's another $15. There's another $15. And it's their business model and it's okay.
I've always knocked it since it came out. Do I miss Fast Pass? I mean, I guess because you got those two. Or you get those 2 Fast Passes, but it wasn't a big deal. But I've always been one of those. Don't pay extra if you don't have to. Food is a different thing. You got to eat. I mean, you can bring food from outside, whatever. You got to eat. But Genie Plus, you don't need to pay it. It's not a need. They're not making you buy it.
Very true.
But it's not.
Not making you buy it. I agree. But
will you ride everything? I have heard from, and I wish Gaz would have came on, but he's another one. He paid it once. He's been here 3 times this year alone. And he paid it once after the blip. And he hasn't paid it the second 2 times. And he said it was just fine those other 2 times. They rode everything they wanted to ride. The day was a little more relaxed. And it saved them a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Now, Diana makes a point. She says, Walt, you just made the point for Disney not selling APs. $9.60 a day compared to the family coming for 1 week paying anywhere between $85 to $112 per day. Disney doesn't make money off of Walt. That, if you look at it in just that way, 100% agree with you. But I go to dinner. I buy the merchandise. I buy the Genie Plus from time to time. I won't do it as much. You're right. So I'm not even going to. Let's take that out of there. Dinner, merchandise, quick service food, table service food. They're making money off of Walt. They are. They're not making it for the park pass, but they're making it in other ways. We don't just come to the park and not buy something. We have, but there are plenty of times when they're still getting. I mean, I have tons of T-shirts. I buy every time a new T-shirt comes out. If I really, really like it, I'm getting it. When we go, we get quick service food. We get this, we get that. So they're still making some money off of me, but maybe not as much. But you're right. I think that's part of the reason why they haven't come back with annual passes. I don't know that they can necessarily say, I think they see that. They see that as we're not making any money off of them. I think that's why they're not coming back with them.
It's a valid point on the park ticket. I think they see it that way. That we're not making enough money on the ticket for annual passes. It doesn't mean they won't raise it to $2,000 once it comes back out, if it comes back out.
Yeah.
Because they just want to make more money. But again, do the math, even at $2,000 for a resident.
Yeah. Well, they're still making.
Anybody can buy an annual pass.
Right. But they're making more money off of you coming down than they are off of me, Tina. I agree. They're still making the same. They're making more money off of Carlos, who's the vacationer, than they are off of the annual pass holder. But it's not like they're losing money on me. They're still making money off of Walt. They're just not making as much as they will with him. But a profit is a profit. You're going to make the big bucks off of the vacationer. The annual pass holder, it's not like the annual pass holder is losing you money for the most part. I wouldn't think. I don't know. But maybe that's why they won't come back with it. I can't say for sure.
I think they will, but it's just going to be at a higher price point again. Victor Foles, welcome in. Foles one, welcome in. If people stop buying Genie Plus, this wouldn't happen as long as people keep paying. They'll keep raising prices. Well, that's what anything, and that's what anything, and that's what everybody says, Victor. But I disagree with that only for the fact that prices go up on everything all the time. It doesn't need. They don't need people to keep buying for them to raise prices. I honestly believe that Disney, even if you stop buying Genie Plus, in 2025, Genie Plus is going to be another $20 on top of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if people stop buying it or not. Because all they're going to say is, well, less people are buying it. We need to charge more now because we need to make that money back. So the prices will keep going up. Mark F. is saying, Walt, you and plenty of AP holders do pay for special paid events. I heard you say $1,600 for a Christmas party.
I did. I paid for 9 tickets for my family. I'm taking 9 of us, and that's what we paid.
Oh, I'm like, I missed that. So I'm glad you repeated that because I missed it. But Mark, they're making off you get $10 off per person, Walt, as an annual pass holder. So you save $90.
That's not even 10%.
That's not even. And they don't get
it's $170 ticket. I guess I get $10. I don't even get 17. I don't even get 10%.
You don't get free food. Speaking of free food, and I know I'm jumping off topic a little bit, but Suzanne just saw that the dessert party is only for Christmas party nights. I don't know if you saw that, Walt.
I've never done a dessert party.
But she was looking at it, thinking that we were going to do one. It's only for Christmas party event. So now you paid $189 to go to the Christmas party, and they want you to throw in another $129 to go to the dessert party. I bet you it sells out. I bet you it sells out. Look at this guy.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, what are we talking about?
How are you, sir?
Really? You've been in the chat. You know what we're talking about. Just give us your 2 cents. Just give us your 2 cents, which is about what it's worth. But go ahead.
Oh, thanks, Walt. I appreciate it. That was overpriced. I appreciate
I'm just kidding. Then it's overpriced. I want change.
Hey, I put that on Twitter myself. Oh no, it was the mod chat. Somebody else's mod chat. I said I'm going to throw in my 1 cent because I got to save the other penny for Disney. So
I'll give you the pity when I'm down there next week, Walt.
There you go. What's up, buddy?
Not much.
Well, I invited Chris
I'm tired of the constant price hikes. I understand. Okay, I get prices right now are insane. I get food having to go up because prices are insane. Here, we've been, the running game here is how much are eggs today at the grocery store?
Yes.
Because
you said that.
One day they'll be $5 for a dozen. The next day they'll be $2.50. It's just all over the place.
Well, but that's the difference. Food prices will go back down because supply and demand will dictate that.
Right.
They absolutely will. I'm sorry, it'll happen. It'll go down.
At a grocery store, but not at a restaurant. Once they change their menu prices and it goes up, you will never. I'm trying to think of a restaurant. Outback. Everybody, there's an Outback all over.
Okay, but I'm talking about grocery stores.
The steak is $3 more now at an Outback.
Right.
If meat goes down in the next year, Outback ain't going to drop their prices.
No, they're not.
Neither is Disney.
Right. But it depends on. But different businesses have different models of what they do. Okay, I mean that's true. The guy that sells, the farmer can do those types of things. But you're right. If you have a guy that has a restaurant, he has to raise his prices to make ends meet, or he goes out of business.
I just paid $129 for 30 dozen of eggs today. $129. It was $89 3 weeks ago.
Right. Crazy. But your cost for eggs over time, when the demand goes down, might come down from $129 for those whatever.
Yeah, it'll come down. But again, like for my business, we have to raise our prices on those sandwiches. If anyone doesn't know what I do, we'll never come down from those prices. That's where it is now, because to me, it's always in our business, it's the fear of it always going back, higher and higher. So you got to raise them, just like any restaurant.
Well, it
They're
depends.
raising the prices now because food costs is going up, but
it depends on the cost. Melissa's father, Jimmy, owned a seafood restaurant up in Maine until a year before he died. He didn't always raise prices just because inflation went up. He took hits sometimes. Now, he would raise prices, but there were times when he would just take a hit on his bottom line to keep his customers. Now, you can keep raising prices, but depending upon your business, you better have phenomenal food if you're going to raise prices. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's one thing if you're a chain that has thousands to 10,000s, McDonald's all over the world. But if you're the mom and pop and you raise your prices, man, you better be good. Because if you're not, the guy's going to go down to the other mom and pop down the street.
You hear that, Pecos Bill? You better be good.
You got to be careful with that.
You do.
Disney can do it because they know people are
They've
coming
locked
back.
you into a certain area.
And they know you. They know people will come. That's why they do it.
I still do not understand.
I should name the stream Field of Dreams because, you used those lines a little bit too much today already. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I still do not understand $4 for a bottle of Dasani water when you can buy a whole pack of the friggin' stuff for $4 anywhere else. Plus, you can get free water at any place. But
yeah, that's another thing that I said a lot on.
Well, that's
Jeff,
tap water, though. They're getting that from the sink.
Jeff just woke up and he's raising chickens in our backyard, given the crazy cost of eggs, not going over well with the snobby neighbors in our country club area. Well, hey, as long as you don't have the rooster croaking all morning long.
No, Tina, I agree. Disney won't take a hit. They could, and they'll be fine. They're not going to lose money. They're not. They were closed for 3 months. That was a blink of an eye to them.
This guy right here just went to Disney. Just came back a couple of days ago. This is Chris here. Oh, screw you, computer. I'm done with you. Where's my finger? This guy right here. He just went. I just spoke to him today over at my local grocery store, and he said didn't pay for Genie Plus. Went on everything he wanted to. Yeah. No need to pay for it. And Walt, you've been there this week. Very busy this past week.
Yeah.
And you can still get away without using Genie Plus.
You can. Money. Yep. We did the other day. Well, it was before we went away back up to Maryland. We went to the park and we did, 10 rides. First thing in the morning. I mean, it was rope drop. But it's first thing in the morning. If you rope drop, we got a lot done. We got like 10 rides in. Everything we wanted to do, we got to do. You can do it if you really want to do it.
I've been thinking a lot this week, not because of the price hikes, but just because of my current trip planning. I'm still not sure if I'm going to renew my annual pass next year.
So be it. I get it, man. I get it. I totally understand.
It's just, and I've been more last year and this year than I've been to Disney back to back. I mean, in years, long time.
Yeah,
but
I totally understand. Look, I'll be honest with you, folks. I'll be just frank and honest. A lot of times, what we do, Melissa and I, when we go to a park, we stream. As soon as we're done streaming, we leave.
Mm-hmm.
That says something. I'm sorry. And it's not from living down here. It's not. It's just we leave. Parks are really crowded. The people aren't nice. We're getting pushed and shoved all over the place. The lines are off the hook. It's like, I don't know. Let's go. And Diana makes a good point. And that's the frustrating. She says eating table services in Disney. It's the inconsistencies in the food quality and service. I always feel it's a roll of the dice and what I'm going to get. And I think that's a good point. And that's why I was saying earlier, I hold Disney. You have got to knock my socks off because you're knocking my socks off with the price. You better knock it out of the park with the quality. Every single time I go to a restaurant, it better be A+ for what I'm paying. I'm sorry.
Have you seen the quality decline in the last 6 months?
Ask Melissa that. The foodie, Melissa will tell you.
Yeah. I mean, because like Chris, he's got a trip coming up. So do we. And actually, what's today? Friday, Sunday. I get to make dining reservations. One of my exciting. I love that day. But it's good to know if quality has declined and prices have gone up, because that's been brought up again. I always turn to Twitter because that's where everybody's been going crazy. But I don't mind. I'm one of those. When I go on a Disney trip, and Walt is different because he lives down here, so he can go home and eat. He can eat before he goes to the parks. It's a lot different for a resident. Mm-hmm. But I am one of those where when I go to Disney, I don't think about the money. I don't. I think about it before I go. I have a budget to use. But when I'm there, it's I don't mind using it all, if that makes any sense. If I budget $3,000 for food, which I did last trip, and I'm doing this trip, yes, people, $3,000 for food. I don't mind spending it all
Oh yeah,
because
you
I love to
budgeted
eat
that.
in Disney.
Yeah.
But it needs. I agree with Walt. The food needs to be worth it. The quality needs to be there. I haven't had a really bad meal yet on Disney property. But I don't mind paying like the chicken and waffle just went up to I think $13 from 11. Yeah, tell me about it. So will I be having two this trip like I usually do? No, maybe one, but whatever. I don't mind paying it as long as the chicken's still the same size, the waffle's still the same size, enough slaw on it, we're good. I don't mind that. I'm not one of those that goes there and tries to. I'm not one of those that go on vacation and try to come home with money, if that makes any sense.
No, I mean, of course, that's what you budgeted for. You're expecting to pay it. If you spend it, you were expected to spend it anyway. If you don't, great, there's a bonus. But I agree with that. The thing with me is I look at it like this. How do I word this correctly? There's got to be a big value in what you're asking of me with the price of anything you do. You have got, if I want long lines, bad customer service, bad food, people fighting all the time in parks, I'll go to Hershey Park. I'll go to King's Dominion. I'll go to Busch Gardens. Disney's supposed to be different, guys. It's supposed to be up here. That's the point, Carlos. And I think that's where the people are getting the issue with a lot of this is they're supposed to be up here. They're not supposed to be like all the other parks. They're supposed to be different. They're supposed to be the gold standard. They're supposed to be the benchmark. They're starting to be just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And it can't be
valid.
just the rides that bring you to the park. Disney is about the Disney experience.
For returning guests.
Anybody. You're going to Disney for the...
But again, the new people that come in, it's because they saw streams and like, oh, I want to ride that. Oh, I want to see Mickey. Oh, I want to, ride this. And,
right, but that's the experience.
I'll bring up the meet and greets. Meet and greets are the experience. That's fine. But unlike returning guests, and I'm talking about yourself, myself, Chris, who went 15, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and knew what it was. I don't disagree with people, like you said earlier, you know, from your first trip and the shows and the cast members and all that. I don't disagree with that. But again, when I say the magic, to me, it's still there. You know, I make my own magic. I don't need the cast members to make it. But it is different for us, the returning guests. I'll admit that. But for the new people, Walt, we said this earlier, it's like they're coming here for the rides. When they're here, this damn earbud, when they're here, that's where they'll get the full experience.
Oh, I don't think they're all coming for the
maybe
ride.
their second trip.
I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now that I know people that are coming down that aren't going to ride Tron, that aren't going to ride Guardians of the Galaxy. Two of the best. They won't get on them. That's not why they're there. They're there for the meet and greets. They're there to see the castle. They're there to walk down Main Street. They're there to ride Peter Pan's flight. So it's not always all the high thrill rides that are bringing them. I don't even know that my sister will get on Rise of the Resistance. She may not do it. She just may not. But they're not. They're here for the entire Disney experience. I mean, I can go to Universal and ride rides that are just as good as some of the Disney top-notch rides because I've been on them. Hagrid's is right there with any Disney coaster, if not better than them. The only one that probably beats it right now is Guardians. Hagrid's is pretty phenomenal. They've upped their game, but it's the experience, and that experience is waning a little bit, and that's what made Disney Disney. They weren't like other parks. They were Disney, and it was different, and they're just becoming like everybody else, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree with that. I do. I see it. But again, like I've said a couple of times already today, my vision of the word magic and is
Yeah.
completely different than what your take is. And welcome into, I'm sorry, Tony Fantastic Ronalds, Murph. It's everybody's got a different take on. Chris, since you just got here late and maybe you were listening in, but I know you were working. What's your definition of Disney magic? Your Disney magic.
That's a tough one. Oh, I think a little bit of it is.
Thanks for looking at the thumbnail.
Yeah, no. I looked at the thumbnail actually. Yes, no, but I was hoping you'd cover this by now.
We did.
Well, I think you're making our point. At least my point. I think you're making that point. It's different for everybody. It's not
different.
a cookie cutter answer.
It's
not. Definitely not a cookie cutter answer that everybody's going to have the same answer. It's not that easy.
It's the warming greeting. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry. No, I was going to say, thinking of his answer. I was going to say, Suzanne just said that I could care less about the rides, which is true. Suzanne's favorite ride, big joke in the town, is a park bench in the shade. We all know that. Suzanne would just love to sit and people watch. Mm-hmm. But she has the same idea as I do, is the things we see, the joy we see in our children, the memories that we've made. And yes, the cast members are included in that. I wanted to say this earlier. I love just saying thank you to a custodian who just cleaned the bathroom, because Disney's got the cleanest bathrooms, I think.
No, they don't.
Not anymore.
No, they don't.
Well, they did.
Not anymore. Part of it.
All right, but
I'm sorry, Carlos, you're going to see it, dude. I've seen so many trash cans overflowing with trash now. You never ever used to see that in Disney.
You're right. Never saw that. But again, we haven't been in a year, and a lot of things can change in a year. But me just saying thank you to a custodian and the smile on his face, or him looking at me, after throwing a paper towel in a barrel, and he says thank you, for not just throwing the crap on the floor or whatever. Again, that's different magic. Mark F says Disney bubble equals Disney magic. Walt's vision originally for the Florida project. Yeah, I agree with that. Chris, go ahead. I'm sorry. I gave you time to think.
That's all right. So I think a big part of it for me is the cast members. I mean, whether it's at the entrance in the store or walking down Main Street, you get on Jungle Cruise and you get somebody that's just reading a script, and you get on Jungle Cruise with somebody that's really into it and sells the ride. It's two completely different experiences. Same thing with Kilimanjaro Safari. I think a big part of it is the cast members. A big part of it is the cleanliness of the park. You walk down Main Street, you're not supposed to see trash or anything everywhere else. It's the quality of the rides. I mean, you don't want to ride a ride that you're missing a Caballero every time you ride it. So,
or a hula girl.
Or a hula girl. So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, see, everybody's, again, and Walt and I have said this multiple times, everybody's view of magic is different. And the reason for the stream, and I was just going to throw a video out there, and it was, was it going to be a rant? No, but it was going to be just, cut the crap, with the tweets about the magic is gone because water went up by 25 cents and we can't afford to go now. Makes no sense. I'm sorry. To me, that comment right there, which I read on Twitter, makes no sense. That's not magic. That's not what Disney magic is, because you're paying more for water. Jeff C just said, where the heck did it go? I can't forget you. How about that? No, not about Tina and the cooking. Oh my God, where did Jeff C's comment just go? Right there. Jesus. Hey guys, I'll say that we are going to Disney. We were going to Disney every other weekend prior to my transplant. Now I can't go back for 4 to 6 months because given the immune system, I already missed Disney super bad. Mm-hmm. But then he followed it down here with, you don't realize the love for Disney until you can't go. And I think that comment right there it goes back to Tina McNeil, where she was saying, well, people will just stop going.
Mm.
That comment right there says a lot. You will stop. You might stop going. I might turn to Suzanne and say one time, we just can't afford to go anymore, or now. Okay. But yes, you have that love. The people that have that love for Disney, the Disney addicts, the Disney freaks, just to use my name, are the ones that even if you don't go, you say enough's enough, you don't go for a year or two, you're going back.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to
Well,
go back.
Yeah, but part of that too, when you go back, is the hope that you're going to have it the way it was. You may get there and you're like, it still wasn't great. It sometimes it's the hope. People will go back because they're like, yeah, I want to go back because it used to be so great and maybe it'll be great again. I'm going back. I just want Disney to, I'm sorry, I see it all the time now that I'm down here. When I'm on vacation, when I lived up in Maryland, you would let things slide or you wouldn't pay attention to things because you're on vacation and it's go, 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 and you're not really paying attention. Living down here, I can pay attention to the little things. I can.
Yeah.
I can pay attention. I wouldn't pay attention if I was on vacation. Now that I live here, I can pay attention.
Yeah, I
And
agree with
see
that.
it.
You don't pay attention going once a year.
Right. You're not. You're just,
Yeah.
you're in the moment. Oh my God, it's been a year. I haven't gone. It's been 5 years. I haven't gone. This is great. Oh my God. Oh my God. But living here, we can pay attention to things and we can see it and we can take notice of this and take notice of that. You might walk right by that trash can that's fill and overflowing because you're on your way to Magic, Big Thunder, and you want to get there and you don't see it. Me, I'm taking my time. I see it now. It's a different mindset from the local to the vacationer. I get it. But Disney's banking on the vacationer. That's who they're banking on. They're not banking on the local. And I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah. But my day will come where I'll have to make that decision where I'll be like, is the value still there? Again, a lot of times we have really struggled sometimes with whether or not we're going to do Disney streaming. We do it because we do it for you guys on this. We love the interaction of the chat and the friends we've made. A lot of times that's why we do it. We love it because we love hanging out with you guys and bringing you the joy that you get from it because you can't be here. There may be times where we would probably not have done it, but we love to bring the streams to you guys. So, that's I'm talking too much. I'm sorry.
No, not one bit. That's why we're here. And like I told Chris, I text Chris before, feel free to come here and use my platform, my channel as a free-for-all. I mean, we're not swearing or anything, but express yourself like you probably wouldn't in your own channel. And I respect that. Chris is very gentle and loving and kind on his stream. I told him, come over here and just let it all out, man. Blow out some steam, but he hasn't done that yet. Victor
but I
says,
do feel the magic, Victor. I do feel the magic. And in our defense, I do feel it. It's still there. Because if it wasn't there, we wouldn't go. We wouldn't go at all. I mean, there are times when we go and we're not streaming. We were just there the other night. I didn't stream. I just was at Disney Springs. But you just pay attention more and you see some of the more disappointing things that you may not see if you're on vacation. It's not, at least not for us. It's not that it's gone, but we're just a little bit more aware.
And Victor, just to touch on your comment, that's exactly pretty much what I wrote on Twitter. You are the one that, again, this is just my opinion. You're the one that makes the magic on your vacations. It's your family. It's what you see. It's what you feel. Not what you see, because there's some things I don't like seeing that, in Disney, but it is what you feel, the joy and happiness in your family. That's what the magic is to me. And, you pretty much just carbon copied what I said. Chris is a gentleman. He will never cut loose like that.
Wait a minute. So you're saying we're not gentlemen?
I'm fine with that. I mean, if that's what Tina's saying, I'm good with that because, yeah.
I am very much a gentleman.
Tina, I will let loose. And the F word will never come out of my mouth on here, but, the other words have. Carlos, you don't even do that. You give others permission, but you don't. I don't. I give him. Me, I go off like you wouldn't believe. But Um, I know, and we're going to end this real quick, real soon, and on 90 minutes already. I know Pete will be on with his show in a little bit. And like I said, I actually have to work tomorrow. I'm not going right to bed. I'm not getting up at 3, but 6 or 6:30. Diana, thank you for being here. I know I haven't seen you in my streams or my chat. But Diana asked way up top. I'm not even going to go into it. Go look for it because I remember the question because I wanted to answer it. How do people afford to go to Disney? She doesn't understand it. Diana, I'm going to just speak for me. Is how we afford to go to Disney is we set our minds to it. You set your heart and your mind to anything, you know you can do it. And that's Disney for us. We always love going there. So we find a way. We pinch, we scrape, we scratch until we can go. Even this year's trip was, I won't use the word the weirdest to plan because, you're used to booking through Disney packages and everything. We didn't do it that way this year. This year was a little tougher for us, but we found a way. We booked a resort by renting DVC points, and you can ask Suzanne. She's in the chat. She was the last person to get a park ticket, and it was just like 5 weeks ago that we finally bought one for her. You save up until you can buy what you got to buy. And I just said it. We use our tax money. You find a way. Does it mean you have to scrape and scratch to go every year? No.
But that question is it's a great question, and I'm sure it's a question a lot of people have. It's about budgeting. It's also about planning and planning smartly. And I don't mean that as any disrespect to anybody. You have to make conscious decisions of what you are and are not going to do with Disney. You don't have to do that with any other theme park, but you do with Disney. You have to say, how much do we want to eat when we're there? And I don't mean that in a funny way. I mean, how much do you want to go out? Yeah. Do we want to stay on property? Maybe you want to go to Disney, but now you're going to stay off property a mile away and save money that way. You have to it's part of budgeting. It's really a lot to do with planning. Do your homework. Look at specials. Look at the times of years. Look at the rates. Start saving your money where you can. Look, I get it. Maybe you can only save $20 a pay, $10 a pay, whatever it may be. I get that. But there's a lot that goes into a Disney vacation. And there are plenty of Disney vacation people out there that are travel planners that can help you as well. And they don't make money off of you until you book your trip and you go. So the incentive is there for them to help you. There's ways to do it. There really is. Trust me, from a person who was poorer than poorer for the longest time, we found a way. Yeah. And it took us, we went in 98. We didn't go again until 2007, almost 10 years in between our first and second trip. 10 years, 98 to 9 years. You can do it but it's gonna take some discipline.
There discipline and there is ways to make Disney cheaper.
There is.
It's not for everybody. Well, you know what? It is for everybody. That's all in the back of your mind. Because I say that because I love my wife to death, but she does not want to stay off property ever. Will there be a time where we have to? Yes, I think there will, because $300 for Pop Century is insane. And even renting DVC points, that's going to go up too. Even renting DVC points, I still pay $270 a night. But okay, I'm staying at a deluxe resort instead of Pop Century. I saved some money, but still. You can't stay off property. I've always said it. You could stay at Mystic Dunes, which is off property a couple of miles away. It's 8 minutes. 8 minutes to get on property. You can get a 2-bedroom villa for the same price as an all-star resort. Mm-hmm. There's ways to save money. You can get a studio for like $80 a night. And Walt said it too. You don't have to, even though I just said at my last stream that, there's reasons why Suzanne and I rather do a table service every day. But you don't have to. Stick to quick service. Go eat off, like Dan said, one stream, go eat off property. The Brits said it. It's just cheaper to eat off property. It's cheaper to feed a family of 5 at the Outback than what it is in Disney. We know that. We get that. Of course it is.
Yeah.
You know,
There's-
there's ways to afford Disney if you really want to go.
And you may have to say, okay, I can't go for 8 days. Maybe I can only go for 5.
Yes.
You know,
So
that's the other thing
yep.
too. Find a way to. It just depends on how bad you just want to be there. You know, if you want the full experience to do everything, this, that, and the other, it's going to build. It's going to build quick. You know, we always did that with our trips. There were things where we said there's things we're going to have to sacrifice to do this, and what is it we're going to do? You know, and we would just you'd have to, but you know, I don't know. I hope everybody gets the chance. I always say I think everyone should be able to experience it once, and unfortunately, there are many that can't. I wish they could.
No, it is unfortunate, and again, you know, the people, you know, the Brits that I was talking to on social media, you know, when they say Disney is just outpriced for us, I hope that's not true. I hope they get their chance to come back because, you know, they love Disney as much. Hope they do their homework and find a way to do it cheaper. But
Yeah.
Again, I say the term: if you really want something, you know, put
You
your
find
mind
a
and
way.
your heart to it. You'll find a way. It'll happen. You know, do your homework. I really hope people are not funding their trips on credit card. The interest rates are so high it may take a lifetime to pay it off. But Jeff, some are, and that's how they have to get there. But Debbie, have a good night, Debbie. Debbie stepping out. Nicole, happy hearts. And hopefully you get money back and points on your card. Oh yeah, she said it. You know, do it and then pay it off the very next month. Yeah, I don't know. Hope you all enjoyed this conversation. Like I put in a thumbnail and when I shared it out, it wasn't going to be a rant because I really had nothing to rant about. There was nothing. I wasn't angry about anything. So you know, Walt had said it on his stream. You know, we all have our right to not like something and discuss it. Do we like paying more money for food? No, it sucks. But I'm not angry about it. I mean, that's it. Prices went up. What do you know? I looked at the same thing. I look at Suzanne all the time, and a lot of people in this community. We all, you know, well, I just read it on Twitter. We all bitch and complain, but we're still gonna go. So go ahead, do that. Complain about it. Let it out. Vent a little bit. But you know, that's it. Enough. And because you know you're still gonna go. So. You know, that's why I had nothing to rant about. Prices went up. It is what it is. I will never pay for Genie Plus, so I don't care. You know, pay for Genie Plus if you want. Not my problem. I'm not paying it. I'll stand in line. Somebody said it. I think it was Jeff. Was it Jeff? No, it was that. God, it was somebody in this. I think it was Victor. If you're in the park all day, you can afford to stand in lines. You don't have to pay for Genie Plus.
It's your choice.
No.
Yes, that's all I care about.
God-given right.
I want Disney to give me the choice. And I don't have that choice with Guardians. I don't have that choice. If I don't get the virtual queue, I have to pay to do it.
There's no standby line?
No.
Nope.
Oh, I didn't know that. See? I did not know that. But this brings me, and God, I really want to end the stream, but this brings me back to when Rise opened and Genie Plus came out. I always said it. For Rise of the Resistance, if I had to, the last day I am there at Hollywood Studios, I would pay to ride Rise. This trip, because my son is going and his girlfriend, I mean, the baby won't go on, so we'll do a ride swap, which means I could probably ride it twice in a row. I will pay to make sure my son rides Rise this trip. Not for me, because I've been on it a bunch of times. And it's a great ride, but for him to experience Rise, I will pay to ride Rise. And I guess I'll say this now. I will pay to ride Guardians because I want to experience it at least once. It's probably going to kill me. I really believe that. But I want to experience it once. So I will probably pay it. But Genie Plus in general, where it's like the fast passes pay for everything. No, you will never see me. And I don't need Genie to plan my day either. I hate when that comes up. Oh, here, go ride this. No, I don't want to. Leave me alone. You can't do standby. See, I did not know that, team. You can't do standby for Guardians. I really didn't. I didn't know that. So I don't know. Fantasmic's coming back. I want to end that on that. So thank God, November. Get a date.
Yep.
Walt, Chris, I know you came late. Walt and I we're looking for. I know I was looking for this conversation because, like I said, we Walt and I like to debate a lot of things. I sometimes wonder if he just disagrees with me on purpose so he can debate me, but I know it's not. But Walt, this was fun. It really was. You know, we stood on topic, which was great. Chris, I don't know, maybe we can try that on a Saturday night. Walt, you can say whatever you want, buddy.
I just want to say one thing to everybody in the chat. These conversations are important to have. It's not to bash Disney. It's not to make someone out to be smarter than the next person. It's to educate, inform, and be transparent about what's going on in these parks, good and bad. When there's great things happening, we pronounce it, we talk about it, we get into it, we discuss it. But when there are things that upset you, it's important that you understand and see both sides of everything. That's how I feel. I'm not going to be a cheerleader for the sake of being a cheerleader. I'm going to tell you like it is of how I feel. That's all. It's just an opinion. It's an opinion-based conversation we're having here. This is my opinion of what I see that upsets me about Disney. May not upset you. God bless. I'm glad it doesn't. But the point of these conversations, at least for me, is to let you see something that maybe you wouldn't see if I didn't bring it up. And it's not to badmouth Disney. It's just so you can see it and understand the point that's trying to be made. I think education is extremely important in all aspects of life, including Disney. You need to be educated on Disney, not just be blinded by what you see in the commercials or those cheerleaders that everything's great with Disney when it's not. It's important that you see all aspects. That's all. So I appreciate the opportunity.
You mean the media people?
Well, I mean, and God bless them. I understand that there's reasons why it's okay. I mean, it is what it is. But I just, that's all.
How's that Star Cruiser doing? Just wondering. I haven't heard anything about that freaking thing in a long time. No, and I agree with everything Walt just said. You know, it's a healthy conversation between friends, a healthy debate. Walt and I agreed on a lot of things today, and we disagreed on a few. So, but Walt is right. Everything needs to be spoken about, and I'm glad I can do it on here because, again, I don't live down there. I can't be in the park streaming every day. I don't think I even would, but you know, I'm not down there all the time, so I get to do this. I get to hang out with friends that I've made. This is another thing with Disney magic. If not for Disney and YouTube and meeting these guys, right? That's magical. Hanging out with Chris last trip, Walt, every time we go down. That's part of the magic that's been made. You know, it had nothing to do with rides. It was just friendship. Mm-hmm. You know, we're allowed to do this, and yeah, I like doing it. You know, I don't stream every week anymore, but when something comes up, you know me, I'll come on. I like prime time. This prime time slot was pretty cool. But Walt, we love transparency and streams. I am grateful for people like you to share with me the parks I love so much. I can't wait to hopefully go back in 4 to 6 months. Help pending.
Yeah,
Jeff, but you are.
God bless Jeff for sure, man.
Yeah.
Get
Jeff,
healthy.
Jeff is the man. Yes, we're all thinking of Jeff. We got a Lego stream coming up for Jeff pretty middle of this week. But Walt, thanks for coming on, buddy. When are you streaming?
My pleasure.
Tomorrow? Where are you tomorrow? I know
tomorrow night.
Saturday.
Tomorrow evening, we're going to go from Animal Kingdom in the evening, which is going to be awesome. So maybe we'll get over into Pandora and see all the bioluminescence and do one of the last couple rides on the safari, and it's going to be a blast. We're going to have a good time with it, I hope. And then Sunday we're going to do a Hollywood Studios Sunday this week. We usually do Magic Kingdom Walk in the parks, but we haven't been to the studios in, dude, it's been a minute since we've been in Hollywood Studios. So we're going to do an early morning stream from Hollywood Studios Sunday. And
I can't wait for
it'll be fun.
Christmas in Hollywood Studios.
Right around the corner.
Can't wait.
Right around the corner, man.
Cannot wait. Chris, I know you came late. I know you were working, so we spoke about that.
Sorry about that.
No, hey, don't you gotta find a way to pay for this, Chris. You gotta work. But Thanks for coming in for a few minutes, buddy. Chris will be doing his stream tomorrow, I'm assuming, or are we taking a day off?
No,
Maybe.
we'll be on tomorrow night, so you can come over after you hang out with Walt, and we'll be doing something.
I will try to come on. I'm 2 weeks in a row. I've missed Chris's stream. Tomorrow might be 3 because we have a wedding to go to, Suzanne and I. But then again, I don't know anybody there, so I might be kicking her under the table. We need to go because Chris is about to go live, so we need to go home or something. Be a lot better. It's different when you know people at this wedding. So, Osborne lights were the best. Yes, they were, Vic. Nick in Virginia, thanks for saying hi. Great show, guys. Oh, thanks for Ninja watching. Thanks to all the Ninja watches. We had 40-something in here at one time, and I know a lot of people with Ninja. Thanks for everybody that's talking in the chat. Myself, I got this little guy to finish. Lego build here to finish this week, and that's about it. I want to go buy more Lego. I'm going to go. Suzanne wants to go. She wants to buy something Sunday, so we're gonna go do that. So plenty of Lego streams, and then a couple of discussions leading up to our trip. Yeah, that's it. I have nothing else planned because there's nothing else planned. So besides that, go check out my partner channels. This Our Dreams. I have gotten really shitty at doing this. This Our Dreams, my partner channel, live tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I believe at 8 a.m. from a park. Sunday, I believe at 8:30 from another. Sunday's Animal Kingdom, or it's tomorrow Animal Kingdom. Whatever. He's live from a park. Pete McDevitt, my other partner channel, was just doing a baseball game. I don't know if the game's over, but he'll be live with his producer that's below me at 10:30, Chris?
10 minutes.
At 10 o'clock. So Pete will be live in 10 minutes. So everybody go over to Pete, hang out with him. I'm sure Chris has got everything lined up, all the news and merch that's been released. They finally have the 40th anniversary coffee mug. I need to reach out to somebody. Reach out. Oh wait, that's right. My in-laws are down there. Hey, get to reach out. I get some stuff. Besides that, everybody enjoy your weekend. Stay healthy, and hope to see you. Oh yes, thank you everybody for Suzanne's birthday wishes in the chat. I appreciate it. And social media. A lot of people reached out on social media. I know Walt did and everybody else. So, and Melissa. So thank you for that. Love you all. I'm going to bed. There's no Ethel to roll over for me. So just get the heck out of my way. I'm going.